That's a fact. And no matter how unachievable that goal or dream might be, if you keep practicing and keep working towards it, one day you get very close.
Harder. So what? Nobody cares. Train harder.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jake Paul is now training alongside Tyson Fury as he gets ready for his fight with Anthony Joshua. According to Fury, Jake has moved much closer to his long-term plans, and this matchup is one of the most important steps he's taken so far. Fury says Jake is working extremely hard to reach those goals and sees this fight as a true 50-50 situation. In his view, Jake has advanced far beyond his past as a YouTuber and now enters the ring with real drive and purpose.
And even if you don't actually achieve the biggest target in your life, you might get close to it, so it's definitely worth pursuing. But someone who doesn't have goals and
Jake Paul says he's pushing himself harder than ever, fully committed to the idea of becoming a world champion someday. He's treating this training camp with complete seriousness, focusing on discipline, conditioning, and correcting every weakness he can find. Jake believes the effort he's putting in will eventually show in the ring. To him, all of this proves he's not trying to be seen as just a celebrity boxer, but as someone who wants a genuine place in the sport.
Not be treated like I'm Jake Paul or a famous person. No, like they treat me like I'm trying to become a world champion, which is exactly the case.
Tyson Fury thinks Jake Paul truly has a chance against Anthony Joshua, pointing to how much Jake has evolved over the years. Fury argues that people should stop underestimating Jake because he has developed a sharp focus and now trains like a professional. In his opinion, Jake could surprise heavyweight fighters who don't take him seriously.
Possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight.
Boxing has always balanced business and sport, and Barry Hearn makes this very clear when talking about Anthony Joshua. As an experienced promoter, Hearn says Joshua should seriously consider a fight with Jake Paul, stressing that boxing is, at its core, a business built on big earnings. He explains that while some fans may question how competitive the matchup would be, the financial rewards are too significant to ignore. According to Hearn, opportunities like this, where the profit potential is massive, play a major role in shaping a fighter's decisions. For promoters, athletes, and even viewers, the money a Joshua vs. Paul fight could generate might exceed what most expect, making it impossible to dismiss based only on sporting tradition.
Fight Jake Paul. What's your view on that, Barry?
Money. Don't be silly. You know, I mean, you're mostly sensible, aren't you?
Mostly.
Of course, we're all purists at heart, but purism doesn't necessarily pay the bills, and boxing is a money business. And the day we don't accept that and then move on, we won't understand why certain things happen.
So if that fight's there next week and it's signable and they can do Joshua against Tyson Fury next year, take the Jake Paul fight in December, go and do it.
100.
Sports analyst Simon Jordan has also shared his thoughts on Jake Paul's rise. He points out how unusual Jake's path has been, going from a YouTube personality to someone stepping into the ring with world-class fighters. In traditional boxing circles, this kind of journey is almost unheard of. Jordan notes that boxing usually values slow, steady development, building experience in the amateur ranks, facing tougher opponents step by step, and proving skill over time. Jake has bypassed all of that, and for many longtime boxing followers, it raises concerns about respect for the sport, the level of opponents he's chosen, and whether this kind of career path can last.
It doesn't sit well, but as a normal working class lad, I've been asked by builders, would you fight Jake Paul for 5 million quid? I never got 5 million quid for fighting anyone else in a fight, so it's the silliest question in the world. I've been retired 7 years, I'm still very confident. If you give me 3 weeks to get off the couch, I'll probably still beat him with one hand. It's not, he's not a good fighter, so it's not even being disrespectful to him. As a YouTuber, as a presenter in what he does, he blows me out the water. That's his line of work, but you're stepping into boxing, another profession. Now, to call Alexa Canelo out, I think is disrespectful. To call Anthony Joshua out is lunacy, but we know why it's happening and why he does it.
Forget Jake
Puts
Paul.
asses on
Forget
seats and he
Jake
sells
Paul.
a lot of tickets.
Paul. I mean, Jake Paul's going to do what Jake Paul does. But Anthony Joshua, and with respect to you and what you did and didn't earn in your career, Anthony Joshua has earned a king's ransom.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be fiddled with this, does he?
No, he doesn't. But again, all I keep seeing from people out there is, when is enough enough? And I get that. But when you're retired at 33, 34, and you've got to make that last now, you've got more experience than me in this team with a lot of footballers in the past as well, and business people who got to make a certain amount of budget last.
Even with the criticism, Jake Paul has undeniably helped several professional boxers earn the highest paydays of their careers. This alone shows the financial influence he brings to boxing. Still, his attitude hasn't always been well received. Fans and analysts point out that Jake has disrespected legendary fighters and long-established athletes, often calling them out in bold or insulting ways. This creates a complicated dynamic. He brings in huge money and attention, but he also challenges the sport's traditions, leading to mixed reactions from veterans and boxing purists.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will.
I'm so sorry for my English, but I have to. See, Jake Paul does lots of good things. He has a camp for kids where he, I guess, gives training and coaching and gloves and environment for kids in Puerto Rico. He helped lots of boxers to get the bigger purse than they deserve. He has done some good things. But, and you are kind of trying to be on his side, but then he says something like that. Like, you almost are on his side, and then he says, I want to fight Anthony Joshua and Canelo at the same night or whatever. Jake, fighting Anthony Joshua and Canelo is not fighting Tyron Woodley or 60 years old Mike Tyson with Alzheimer's. Anthony Joshua is able to literally kill you. No doubt. If his mission is to kill you on the ring, he will kill you. You lost against Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury won against you. What Anthony Joshua? What Canelo, my friend? Canelo, you would need the liver replacement after Canelo fight. I promise you. So stop doing that shit. Do the good things you are doing, and we will be on your side. Just stop saying.
The conversation around a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight goes beyond earnings alone. Many compare it to Gervonta Davis's exhibition fight with Paul, but the difference is massive. Davis was viewed as too small to be a true matchup for Jake. Anthony Joshua, however, is a completely different level, bigger, stronger, and far more experienced. Analysts make it clear that Joshua wouldn't treat this as a simple exhibition. He would want a real, competitive fight where both skill and power come into play. This matches Joshua's professional mindset and separates this potential matchup from other celebrity-style events.
One, yes, that's the former heavyweight champ. Why is he fighting Jake Paul? And two, why is Jake Paul putting his health and well-being on the line? Because someone asked me on Twitter, Wade, if Jake Paul gets knocked out, will his career be over? Buddy, his life may be over if he gets knocked out by AJ, because that dude put Francis Ngannou flat on his back, and I had never seen Francis Ngannou hurt before. And again, it's boxing, not MMA. Jake has a little more experience, but we're talking about a massive size difference. AJ's still relatively young and still relatively got something left in the tank, and he's only fought the world-class guys for the last 10 years. This would be Jake's not only hardest fight, most dangerous fight of his career. If Jake is doing this, it could signal the last one. I'm not even joking. This could signal Jake being like, I'm having one more of these and I'm out. Because where do you go from Anthony Joshua? We'll get into that part in a second, but the Netflix thing. We know that Anthony Joshua is an exclusive fighter to DAZN. Eddie Hearn has stated that multiple times. AJ, I'm pretty sure, even has a piece of DAZN. I could be wrong about that, but he signed a mega deal years ago with them. So for this fight to take place on Netflix would mean DAZN would say, you can have one of our biggest cash draws, and maybe in a revenue share thing, or maybe Netflix pays them some money, but you can have our biggest cash draw and we don't have an affiliation with it. That seems a bit unrealistic. But having said that, this isn't a report from anybody in the camp. This is not MVP saying it. This is not Eddie Hearn saying it. This is Mike Coppinger, who I guess has talked to people in the camp. But an independent source saying that they are finalizing a deal. Not that they're in talks. They are finalizing a deal. So this is, again, we're talking 1 yard line.
Gareth A. Davies points out one of the biggest factors, the physical difference between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Joshua stands at 6 feet 7 inches and weighs significantly more than the 6 feet 2 inches Paul. This size gap is not something small, it affects game plans, strategy, and risk levels in the ring. Davies says that when you combine Joshua's size with his elite skill set, the fight becomes a serious uphill battle for Jake. At the same time, this contrast is what makes the potential event so fascinating and financially huge. Viewers are drawn to the clash of sheer physical power versus celebrity momentum.
I think, if Joshua stepped into a ring with Jake Paul, but we're going to watch it because we want to see Jake Paul get knocked the F out. We do, everyone wants to see it. I mean, I've even said it to him. I was looking forward to Mike Tyson him knocking the fuck out. Doesn't surprise me. He's looking for the biggest names out there, and it just shows that he's prepared to put himself on the line to promote himself.
Would it be more competitive than the Ngannou fight, in your opinion, or less?
That's a very good analogy. It's a very good comparison. Much less competitive. I mean, I think it's got to be at that level of exhibition bout. I think it's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. Very dangerous. He's probably got one chance to try and counterpunch. And if he catches Joshua, he might do something, but I see that as 100.
That's all for today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one.